3. Thank you so much. And my reaction that day was like, even here we have so many handsome ladies. Yes. And those are big grandma. You know, when you see a man, what do you explain? When you see a man that is too handsome, you call him beautiful man. And when you see a lady that is too beautiful, you qualify her as an handsome lady. So, standing beside me is one of the handsome ladies in this environment. She is Dr. Mrs. or Miss Dr. Mrs. Mbolaji Olatujoyi. She's the head of information and documentation for the Research Institute. So she has some information for us. Please, let's listen to her. You are welcome.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to be here in your midst today. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. We are all doing well. I want to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, how has your experience been since this? Okay, anyone from this side? Okay, very briefly, I'm going to, okay, I'm happy to hear this kind of feedback from you. It looks like you have all been having a very good time. Okay, so I'll just tell you briefly about our department, Information and Documentation Department. We have the library, we have the ICT, and we have the Public Relations Unit. I'm sure you have been seeing the ICT members, Mr. Dada, Mr. Quadri. I'm sure there are no new faces to you. Okay, so basically what we want to do, we're trying to harvest your experiences about NIHOT, the facility, what you have gained, and how your experiences have been since you have been here. So first of all, I'm going to ask you, how many of us are following NIHOT's social media platform? I'm following NIHOT. Let me see your face. Okay. You're not aware. Okay. Okay, Mr. Quadri, please could you project our social media platform on stage? Mr. Quadri, please. Social media platforms projected up here. I would like to implore all of us very quickly, could you please bring out your phones, your devices? You don't have data.
Embarrassing. excited now. My tongue is changing. Sexual harassment. Are you harassed? Back to the subject. This is the 4th week of the training. And I mean, since like a prayer of Daniel, since the first day, as long as you are in this auditorium, the management pays for your subscription. It's like you've been suffering in the midst of abundance. So, we've taught you about communication. If you observe all those, is it Wi-Fi or hotspots? Which one? Wi-Fi. Why did not ask for the passwords for the past 4 weeks? Don't worry. You are covered. You'll get the passport today.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are about being told that we're going to get the password today. So I believe we are going to be able to follow our social media pages. Okay. TikTok. Well noted. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can we please have your attention? Okay. So how many of us are following us now? I'm following us now. Oh, that's okay. We're going to take good care of that. Okay, so now we would like to crave your indulgence. We want to document your experiences. We want to have an idea of what you have learned and how you view our facilities. So we're going to implore you to make like a 1-minute video of your experience. It's we crave your indulgence. It's not compulsory, but we'll be honored to have you honor this request to give us like a 1-minute video stating your experience, what you have learned, and how you view NIHOT. And we're going to post some of all this on our social media platform so that you can see, and then we can encourage other people, because your experience truly is an inspiration from other people who would like to engage in activities like this. So we're going to request that it could be audio, it could be video, and then it could be even texture, it may even be pictures. Whichever is your preference, we're going to have to harvest some of all these things and put on our social media platform for engagement. So we encourage you to please follow our social media platforms. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and WhatsApp. We encourage you to follow us, and then let's have your feedback about our facility, about what you have learned. Oh, Telegram, that's a good one. Well noted, thank you. Well noted, well noted. What did you say? Okay, so we would like to document all your experiences. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for your time. Thank you for listening, and we'll be in touch with you. Thank you all. Have a beautiful day ahead.
No question.
Audience, please. I did the enrollment, and there's nobody there. Please, audience, please. Derogative language is not allowed in this environment, please. What's his name? You don't need to nominate. If you have a question, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you once again. You don't want me to go, I'll be back. I'll speak to the project manager.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, sir.
Are you still on now, Jack? Are you still on it? When you see me standing before you, ladies and gentlemen, what are we talking about? Yes? You people must have seen the result of your quiz. Ah.
Yes.
What are your class group leaders are doing? Except the ones that are not mad, that are taking apology. But every other persons must have been mad, except you didn't attend the quiz. Ironically, one thing came into my thinking in the course of my marking. I found out that some of us are taking this exercise with levity. We are not taking it so serious. There's a difference between comprehension and or what I call it, what you comprehend, or what you really. Some of us are not putting. It is not that they don't know it, but they are drafting ideas, but they don't concentrate. You know what I mean? Yes. I thought that is what I thought. I marked your papers like that. But when I came here this morning, I learned against that. Yes. So you know, there is always a principle, there is always a procedure. The procedure is that reality must be entrenched. I told who don't put absolute attention. There is what we call garnishing. I said, I like you talking technically. When I say such selection is a procedure, that has to do with systematic decision making that can be conscious or unconscious. And I said it is a decision making. That factor is what we want to know. You can't just go to any site and say, I want to use that site without having your decision in you. Do you believe that? Some of us are just writing, it's a place where you select and you want to start farming. Good. Our motive is to operate farm. I think you understand, or business venture in any site that we are selecting. But at the same time, the process of our selection is what we want you to know. Because the technicality is that you are taking a decision, and that your decision can also be influenced by your, what do you call it now, consciousness or unconsciousness. I think you understand that. Why I said, I remember I told you severally that you might meet something you don't expect. In the second day or 2-3 days after you have been visiting your site, and you just, okay, this can be good. Unconsciously, you absorb that, or you pick on that decision, and it goes along with it. As there are so many other things. But I want to please tell you that they want us to let you know that whatever you learning, you either you know it or you don't know it. Some of you, if you see your paper, I even finished up. I said, when somebody is talking of, I think somebody is talking of temperature, it was to talk temperature, is talking of uniform cloudy, uniform, all this type of thing. That Baba Afaye, after I just saw Tony Kama, sorry, but I want to meet him. I'm not saying that. He didn't come again. He has not come today. Why? Travel. The last time we are writing. The last time we were here before the quiz, I think we stopped at the ecological parameters, Abi, to be considered. And then we talk about water, we talk about sunlight, we talk about humidity, nutrition to the plants, to the soil pH, and every other thing, Abi. Now we are asked. There is a particular thing that we are being told to go and do, and we can only do it at the practical class. They want us to see each of the mode of this climatic element as being recorded or being observed. If you are saying if you are saying your weather is fluctuating, you don't say it in the jiffy or relatively without having what now? Without having standard to be background, but with what? With data. And that data you obtain from where? That data you are talking about is obtained from where now? The data you are talking about that you want to accustom yourself with to be able to talk scientifically, and you will not be believing that whether it's fluctuating or it's not regular, is obtained from where now? Somebody is there that will be a standard, and that standard is explained by the data. Abi? Yes. And that data is collected from where? From a meteorological station, accredited meteorological station. You know why I said accredited? It must be a station that has a standard, like they have said, that is being comprehended with every other source of data, meteorological data within the vicinity of an environment. And here in Ibadan, this is NIHELT. It's a government established institution that has to do with agricultural production and research. They have that station that has been approved. If you go to forestry, you meet it there. If you go to IRT, SRI, because all these things we are talking about, they are government agencies that have been accredited. Then you now go collect all the data we are talking from this, and you go to what do you call them now? NIMET at what do you call that? Along UI now. Before you Aerodrome. Either nicer, Aerodrome. All those data you put them together. When they all sit down together to compile them together, the difference will be so mean. We now know that we are looking at environment factor. Some areas can be heavy, some areas can be too low, some areas can be relatively fast. But what we are saying is that somebody is sleeping beside the AC site. Good morning, sir. So I think we understand that these are the technicalities we want you to be talking about. Don't just go and sit down somewhere and say the fluctuation of the weather is as a result of too much water or too much rain this year. But you should be able to compare what has happened 5 years back or even 10 years back to relate it to what has been happening in the sequence of production, especially in what now? In our own cereals crop that we are asked to pay attention to. Do you believe with me that this class is to pay attention to cereals crop? You agree? What are the examples of cereals crop? That is not even in our level. We mentioned it. Thank you very much. I thought you would want to jump that. Now, having been told series of things that fluctuate in weather and we have data to back it up, now we now come to, they want now see us, they want us to know that despite all these, what do you call them, shortcomings that we are experiencing, the crop must grow. Abi? Despite all the odds and limitations in the irregular pattern of weather, the crop must be grown. Do you believe it? The class is too silent. Yes, sir. Or maybe you don't like the way I speak, or what I mean. Because we also say, nígbà tá a bá sọ pé àwọn nǹkan kí la fẹ́ pe weather and see climate àwọn ojú ọjọ́ yes àwọn tá a máa ń wò nínú ojú ọjọ́ ò bá bára mu tàbí kò wá déédéé bó ṣe yẹ kó máa wá àwa sọ pé òkè o ká tó lè sọ pé kò wá déédéé ní ọdún 2025 kí ló ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ọdún bíi 5 tàbí bíi 10 sẹ́yìn tá a lè gbé wá tá a máa fi lò pé òkè tó bá di 2026 2027 2028 29 bó ṣe lè gbọ́dọ̀ máa rírì tó yẹ kí a bá wá dé àwọn ọdún yẹn àwa máa wò pé òkè kò tí jìnnà ju torí kó ṣe rí lọ́dún 7 sẹ́yìn and need data láti back them up. So we are back them up with data. And now, that as all this fluctuation we are talking about, and I said, do you believe that crop must be grown? Yeah. The crop must be grown because we as human beings must also grow. Are we not supposed to grow? Or are we not growing? Then what makes us to grow? And then we are eating food. So that is the area of food production that we are looking at their likely problems that we have been asked to come and learn about. Yes. So what we are saying is that despite all the odds in the weather fluctuation, the crop must be grown. Abi? Yes. In attempt for the crop to grow, that we will eat from whatever their yield is to us, they have to be adapted to whatever situation the weather element is dictating per period of time. I think you understand that. And that is why we have come to see adaptation of all these crop we have in mind to study, cereals crop. How do they adapt themselves to series of fluctuation or disaster in weather element? That is it. Àwọn kọ̀ọ̀kan lè jáde pé ojú ti pọ̀jù fáwọn àwa tá a jókòó yẹn a ti fún ara wa ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ àti bá ìgbà yẹn mu. Ṣé ti understand? Àkọ́ tá à ń pè ní adaptation to future nìyẹn. Wọ́n fẹ́ ká wo báwo ni àwọn nǹkan tá à ń sọ yìí, àwọn nǹkan orúgbìn tá à ń pè yìí, báwo wọ́n ṣe lè ṣe láti bá ìgbà mu nígbà tí ojú afẹ́fẹ́ àbí gbogbo nǹkan tó bá lọ tí wọ́n bá rú tó máa wúlò fún wọn ní lè ṣe wọ́n ṣe máa rí when the necessary weather element will not be favorable to them. Like I said, they want us to be more formal in the process of discussion, but we want to make sure that we sink all our statements sinks into everybody's heart. Abi? And as I said, and we have always been saying it should be an interactive class. Please, let it be an interactive class. We have not had before, or we have not operated in before. We are only trying to explain and see the technicalities of. Why are we still sleeping? Yeah? Did we want what do you call it? The midnight oil? You want the midnight on which cause? Have you done test this morning? Cockroach. Now today we are going to continue and we are likely to finish it. Then subsequent classes will be on practicals and we'll see all these things we are talking. We are now saying that adaptation of cereal crops to climatic elements. I've explained the adaptation, what it means. Adaptation is the response of our crop growth and development to relative change in the climate. When we are seeing something that are not regular, the rain is not falling properly, the sun is becoming too high, the temperature is becoming too harsh, the temperature is becoming too, maybe around 2 o'clock, you are dehydrated. It is not the normal thing to do. You actually understand. Or in the extreme cold, when the entire place, as it's not too good for humans, so also it will not be too good for plants too. All these are features that is still not regular. There should be a moderate standard of any of these factors for the benefit of human and plants and in an ecosystem. And I've explained ecosystem to you. I said ecosystem in an environment is the cumulative activities of both living and non-living elements of the environment. And that's why we say ecosystem. How each of these particles or elements of plants, microorganisms, macroorganisms, essential, non-living organisms are contributing to the environment. Some of us discharge, we eat, we discharge defecate. Plants also rotate in the soil, they create pore spaces for plants to grow and the soil becomes so soft for the root to expand. Anchors are done. Plants are anchoring themselves to the soil from where the secondary roots are absorbing nutrients and they are transporting it. Even the plants through their stomata also doing photosynthesis. Do you remember that we talked about that? And I want to believe if you have started doing some courses related to agronomy, you must have been, or crop physiology, you must have been telling you something related to that. So, adaptation to future. Adaptation can therefore be seen as a result of developing a resistant crop cultivar or cultivars that will be able to grow either in warmth or cold, weather condition, not water condition, weather condition. You are talking weather generally. Water is part of the elements of weather. I think you understand. If you have written water, just put weather. Just strike it and write weather. I've told you, water is an indices of weather. It's a particular element of weather. Do you understand that statement too? Because of these irregularities, we have developed, or plants and crops have been developed to be able to withstand those conditions that are not moderate enough. I think you understand. And that is why we are saying, you see, resistant crop. The variety is resistant to certain things. Because we are building futures for them to be able to be adaptable to environment. And we have a typical example among this crop we are talking about, which is rice. As I said, in rice, this cultivation grows well in upland and lowland area, inside water. You can always grow rice, swamp rice. I mean, some of us that come from where they grow rice. Rice is part of our cereal crop. Abi? So, as they have, in fact, rice and maize, they have the same biological condition. Their uses are normal. They are only being separated into, the same variety is the spice of life. That you are taking wheat, you are taking amala, you are taking something, you are still eating carbohydrates. But the level, the condition of which you are taking, semovita too, you know semovita, the major component of semovita is maize. Who knows? Yes. So if you are taking, what do you call it, rice, semovita, or you are talking wheat, you are eating cereals, So when you mention rice here, in rice production, we have lowland rice, we have upland rice. Lowland rice are the one that grows in Padana area, waterlogged area. Some other crops are also there. But maize cannot survive in the waterlogged area because its root is a little bit intensive. And if it goes much into the soil, there will be suffocation, root rot. So those are the things we build in. I think you understand that. If you don't understand anything I'm saying, please call me back. Let us talk. Or you know more than me. I will give allowance for everybody to say something. No, it's not about nobody is an ally of knowledge. It is not, you people are more on the field than some of us now. And me too, I've left field, even though I'm still on the field. Officially, I've left field for almost 8 years now. So I still depend on the latest technology that have been developed here elsewhere. I think you understand that. You have seen that. Yes, sir. Read it. The second sentence that says what?
Seen as a result.
That's seen as a result of development. Adaptation can therefore be seen as a result of developing a resistant crop cultivar that will be able to grow either in warmth, in cold, weather condition. I said don't put water, it should be weather. In rice production, these cultivars grows well there are cultivars that grows well in upland or lowland. This may result in high humidity or moderate low profile. Yes, when you are talking of excess water or warmth or cold, very humid. Even plants will be inactive in growth. Some microorganisms can also be inactive in growth. So the process. Some of them can even be washed away by erosion in the process of turgidity. When the entire soil becomes too turgid. When you see water flowing on the top of the soil, it is because the soil is already turgid. It cannot contain enough water again. It cannot do percolation again. There could be no infiltration. The feed capacity is rich. Somebody was talking about feed capacity the other time. Feed capacity is the level at which a soil can contain and retain moisture content. You contain it, you retain it. It's a standard. There's always a feed capacity. When there's outflow of water that is run by erosion, we say the feed capacity is rich. In that process too, some microorganisms can be washed off. And the seed drifting. There are so many things. Even seed can also be transported from one place to another. And that is what we call disperser. You have wind disperser, water disperser, woman disperser. You said? Rodent. Thank you very much. Giant rodent. I said this may result in high humidity or moderate low profile. Now we look at maize. I said maize production. In maize production, there are cultivars that are resistant to pests and diseases, e.g., downy mildew resistance. Downy mildew resistance is a particular pest or disease that affects maize. By the time you see maize becoming yellowish from the root or from the stem, from the ground level down to the head, and you see the leaf defoliation, the leaf will start to turn dry yellow. You see strain of yellowish in the maize leaves. It's a spiny leaf, you know. Before you know it, you'll be dying back. So these are downy mildew. But there are some maize varieties that have been built against disease of downy mildew. So in the process of building the strain, genetical strain that will resist downy mildew, we are making them to be adaptable to a future in an ecosystem. You understand that? It's a cultivar that can also mature within 70 to 90 days. In those days, our maize is always, they will say, 120 to 150 days, or 100 days to 120 days. That is a period of 3 to 4 months. But today we have seen a cultivar that will be between 60 to 90 days. We call them short duration crops. They are physiologically been pampered to be adjusted to or adjustable to features of the environment. You know that if you see the rain pattern and some all of this weather element pattern, within a period of time, when they began to showcase themselves, exhibit their character, you will see that it will be tolerable to a certain extent. Before you know it, by the time it becomes escalating, increasing in momentum, you see much water, too much water. Within that period is still photosynthetic, phototropic time, that plants that are responsible to or responding to phototropism, that is the sunlight, can still grow and grow to a maturity level, to the extent that they bring out fruits. So these are the things we study, they build in them because of the environmental imbalances. And that is why we said there are some short duration crops. There are cultivars that can also mature between 70 to 90 days. That's short duration crops, in order to resist high to moderate water supply during rainfall. And I told you at the beginning, at the starting of the rains, maybe you said rain becomes stable by April. We even ask you to start making your leaves as soon as the first two rainfalls. Between 10th of March or 15th of March to April of March, you must have planted this. But those are the times in those days. But conditions may not be favorable too much these days. So we ask farmers to be a little bit patient. But patient too is also adaptability. Hello, sir. To be patient too, asking a farmer to please be patient a little bit for the rain to be steady is also a character of adaptability. Some farmers will not be, they may not want to be patient. They will go and plant. Immediately they see the first two rains. Before you know it, their sprouted seedlings will become burnt. They will now go and supply again. So being able to be patient, but you still see some farmers who accept to be a little bit patient, see maybe July, April ending before they start planting. And those ones will also be very, they will enjoy they will get the benefit of being patient. But another thing now comes up that when the weather is not too regular, it closes up the phases of production. Listen to me now. When the weather element it's not too much regular, it closes the phases of production. Phases of production in arable crops, like maize, pepper, and every other thing, they are always appearing two occasions, two cropping seasons, from March to July, or even to July. There will be August break. After August break, you start another cropping season. But because the rain and some other weather patterns have been delayed right from the onset, if you are not careful, you can only get one season. And that one season can be very bumper because you are likely to have a very befitting weather pattern that will sustain the growth and development of your that is the reason. I think you can now understand adaptability now. I'm trying to tell you to explain what we mean by adaptation. You are trying to adjust to any condition that you are finding yourself, irrespective of whether being positive or being negative. The weather condition can be positive, yes, it comes in regularly, but excess of it will not be seen until when you want to see your desire over that features you are passing through. I think you understand that. You will still see some of our crop. Let me take cassava, even though it's not our mandate crop. You will see that it is easy to harvest cassava in the rains. Every operation there is easy. Uproot. But when you get to processing, the one that is processed or matured in the rain, we have more water, and you see by the time you lock it up in your, what do you call it now? You will see the outflow of water, as if rain is even falling. But when you now want to process them into garri, they will look too lofty. They will not be too heavy. I think you understand that. So just pick them up, breeze will just be blowing them off. But by the time you now see a cassava that is way more matured with the tissue inside the proper, you will see the fruit, the tuber expansion very big. Then go to processing, you will see the mode of the food value there. I think you understand that. So that is how far. And I said the introduction of GMO, which is the genetically modified organism, as a result of adaptation to features in relation to generic and climatic variation in any organism development. You remember we spoke a lot about GMOs, Abi? Some of us are condemning it, some of us are saying they want to use to depopulate us, some of us. And we said there is nothing that have a good side that will not have bad sides too. The idea is that we are in a place or location where food insecurity is our problem. Poverty is ravaging us because the food is not there. The population is timid compared to the available food quantity that we need. Abi? And that is why we are all asked to come and be trained as a farmer, because there is no other way we can sustain ourselves except we go to the farm. The petroleum industry is becoming too turgid. Pressure is becoming too much on petroleum in petroleum industry. Do you believe it? That is why we are buying at a higher price. The supply is lower than the demand. So everybody is working towards the limited available petroleum product. And that is also affecting our survival. And that is why we have to look at it again. Let us diversify. We are also adapting ourselves to unfavorable conditions in food supply. So there is nothing stopping us from, moving our idea from one industry of production, petroleum industry, and coming to agricultural what now? Agricultural industry. Maybe I pause here and ask people to come and say something. It has never been like this before. Let a female, let a woman just stand up to tell me what I said last. I'm not going to pinpoint. Just tell us what you heard from me last. A woman this time around. Raise up your hand now. Let a woman just tell the class what I have just explained now. My last statement. What does it stand for? Okay, ma'am.
I think you were.
Just say what
Okay, you were comparing the engineering sector to that of agriculture sector, saying that engineering is quite tight now. There are people who move to agriculture.
Thank you, sir. Concerning the adaptation of our crop to the climate or weather, I have little experience about it, and starting with this GMO. Like 4 years ago, this Alapara, I have a plot of land there. Alapara,
yeah, okay, very good.
I have a plot of land there, fencing land. So, they fence it.
Under fence?
Yeah, inside it. So, that year, I thought rain fell around, the first rain is around March. The 5th of March. Then I planted 6 rows of maize.
6 rows of maize you planted?
That rain stopped.
Okay. The rain stopped unexpectedly?
Unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Just twice. And before the next rain, it was
around June?
No, it's 3rd week of March.
Okay.
For that year. And all farmers that we planted together here, all their maize just
because they were not too patient. They were not patient enough.
But in this advantage of this GMO,
yes.
that meat that I planted then is imported meat from Israel. And that way you take the water and continue to grow. And the first week of April, and the people just
You are so surprised.
So that is the advantages of this
GMO we are talking. Thank you very much. That is what we are saying. We are always trying to give avenue for development. Hello, ma'am.
I have a question, sir.
Okay, sir. That woman is fast asleep in black tea. Continue, sir.
Okay, 2 questions.
Thank you.
On the issue of GMO, something struck my mind a few days ago.
Yeah. Genetic
modified. Yes.
Organism.
It's possible that, when we plant, let's say, tomato of 2 varieties, we get hybrid when there is cross-pollination. In the case of GMO, if we plant another variety, let's say a local variety, and very close to it, is it possible we have an hybrid of it? It's not possible.
It's not possible.
Okay. Now, the second question.
Let me bring it to you. One of the conditions that is necessary for growing hybrid strains is that they must be isolated. They must be planted outside your regular crops, especially open pollinated. Okay. The isolation also debar them from retarding their growth. Because if they are not isolated, they will cross, like we are talking about.
Cross-pollination, exactly.
Poor maintenance will also be there. Infertility of your soil may also be there. Because if you plant in the open place as you are regular, as you do it in a regular cropping, that you don't bother yourself too much of weed does not really concern you. Maybe you want to weed 1 or 2 occasions, whereas you are supposed to weed 4 occasions in maize crop. The yield will be reduced. And that is why you see so many conditions are attached to hybrid, especially for maize. Personally, if I want to work on hybrid, or what we have done here in my experience, we always go for far from where regular cropping are being carried out. And that is where you now look at the farming system. Is it shifting cultivation or
okay, the second
question, sir.
Yes, you mentioned infertility of the soil.
Yes.
Now, we've heard that if you plant GMO continuously over time, it's this high tendency of it having effect on your soil, such that our local seeds may not perform well. How true is this?
Yes. You see, that's exactly what we are talking about. The building a future, adapting them to an environment. And I said adaptability to condition can be positive or can be negative. You see, the GMO you are talking now, they have been named the genetical. They said they are genetically modified organism. Genetically modified organism. In the process of building up the strain, so many things must have been put into it. What do you call it now? There's what we call, I want to remember that thing now. Okay, let's take 2 different people. Somebody, a local material, hybrid, and local breed. Because hybrid must have been worked upon in terms of fertility, in terms of genetical build. That is why you see, when you see some people, even in the local balance, when you see people that are children that are brought up in modern parents, are elites, where they eat systematically. They are bothered about each type of food they eat. Maybe taking beverages regularly, and somebody grown up where they take amala, begiratin, and every other thing. You will see the way they will grow. Some people will grow stunted. You remember I told you, I said vegetation is one of the things you look into when you are selecting site. I said if when you get there, some areas can be, look at the growth of the plant you are seeing. Some ground you stunted. That tells you that the soil must have been exhausted. And some other. So all these things, you wouldn't know what they are built into them. Whatever they are built into them is to be resistable to whatever this condition they are finding themselves. And that is why you see hybrid. When you grow them very well, they grow in quantity, they grow in quality. Seed size is always very heavy and that different. By the time you now measure what you have produced, compared to what you have produced in the open pollinated, you still see that. You have another question or you want to? Thank you, sir. Do you agree with what I've been saying before? That is adaptation to future and what you have been built into it. You build resistance, you build high yield.
Okay, and the real context of it. Do we have GMOs that are locally produced? Let's say 9. Look, most of the time we hear about Mossad, the Israelites giving us GMOs, and there are a lot of controversies around it. We know whatever that comes from our research institutes in Nigeria will be more, the scientists will have, the plant breeders will have removed all forms of
states.
Yes, because I've worked with some plant scientists that outrightly they say no to GMOs, and they have their reasons.
For you, except for education like this, I don't encourage it.
So, do we have the ones that are locally produced? Do we have any GMOs in Nigeria at all?
Yes. Thank you very much. Let me give you a background story of Research Institute. Let me give you a background. Wait, we are talking about site selection and what are the things you are likely to meet. Yes. You see, we have about 18 or if not 2022 agricultural-based research institutes in Nigeria now. Agricultural-based research institute. Each of them are given some related and relative mandates to work upon. And every one of them are to look into the generic development of each of their crop mandates. I can tell you more of NIHOT because I worked and retired in NIHOT. What we are talking about now is cereals. National Cereals Research Institute at Badegi has the responsibility of developing a genetically motivated crop of cereals in which maize is there, rice is there, sorghum is there, I think oat is there. Even far to Maiduguri, what do we call them now? Chemical Research Institute. At Maiduguri. SRX in Badeji, that is what I've mentioned. All these research institutes, they have also done one thing or the other in developing a resistible varieties. They have tampered with. In NIHOT now, if you are talking of tomato, you are talking of okra. I bought about 50,000 worth of okra seed, tete seed, ewedu seeds here and now that have been produced by breeders. Tomato, okra. Somebody was selling okra to us sometimes. Last week. That they said, I think that is okra 1 or okra 4, okra 1. Even the officer in charge of it told us how sweet the thing is, and I bought, and I have seen it, I have enjoyed it. So what I'm saying is that, hello sir, what I'm saying in essence is that what I want to drive at to convince you that there are research institutes that are also doing this genetic. That is where I'm going to finish up by this introduction. I said this refers to genetic adaptation to future, which is being built in genetically strains of the crop. In the process of wanting to cross breed, you are trying to change their genetic modulation. Yeah? Then you must have seen a crop that grows fast of the same variety or strain with another one that is not growing fast. So you want to see the tendency of being growing fast or growing taller with a test, the one that is becoming, that is always dwarf, that does not grow tall. So by the time you now see, we cross them again, you see at the midway. I think you understand. So Yorùbá máa sọ pé láti gbójú kìí listen, in those days it takes 3 months before you harvest in Nairobi. Yes, most of the crops you are harvesting in okra now, 30-40 days. Maize, I've told you, you grow maize 120 days, 150 days, 60-90 days. All these things are, so people are doing it. In the course of your, after this, leaving this course now that we are undertaking, you are going to be exposed to them too. There is succession in one plantation. There may be, we will still go together and see. We go and see series of maize variety. Go to Ireland and see series of cowpea varieties that have been built into a strain. Their strains have been built and been tapped. I think you understand that. Everybody, if we have horticultural mandate here, we are taking you to our laboratory where I said I bought my home last week or so, 2 weeks ago. So all these things are also going on. You see, why you are seeing them coming, being imported, is because, Nigeria is crying of food, and every country wants to help us. And the way they can help us is to send us to early maturing, properly develop varieties of our needed crop, and that is why, and probably adaptable environment. You believe that where they are growing most of these things, there are areas where they grow. I think in Philippines, there are excess water there. They produce more of rice. I think you understand. In Japan too, their soil is so loose, but they still produce high quality. Thailand too, India too. Israel is arid area, no water. But go there now. The most sweetest oranges in the world is from Israel. Go there. So many things. So why they are sending this to us is that they are thinking they want to help us. If it is availability of planting material is our problem, or food supply, what we have produced in excess in our hand, we can send it to you. So that is it's just a collaboration. I think you understand that. Don't let us be too bothered about the thing. The choice is on your own, we have said it. You can go to any of research institutes that have mandate responsibility as to whatever your crop, your desired crop, you will see it there. I know this morning we are talking of going to R&T with you. If you get to R&T, you are going to see series of varieties, DNS, they will tell us the terms they are built into it and how they are different from the open pollinated. They will show you the open pollinated, and they will even encourage you if you grow this and this, you are going to win. I think you understand. Now, we are now looking at the effect of the climate change on growth of cereals crop. We have discussed about adaptation. Why are we adapting? Because there are changes in climatic elements. I think you understand it now. Now, all these changes we are talking about, what specific effect does it have that we are talking? One of the things that is most common, that is most noticeable now, is global warming. Do you believe that? Abi? If anybody is to explain global warming, what do you mean? Please, sir. Afam. You can't tell us anything about global warming. Mommy! Mommy, ma'am. Can you explain something to us about global warming? What is it now? Auntie, please, ma'am. Rescue her. Global warming. You want to help out? High degree temperature. Stop to us now. Let's hear you. You are coming now. Are you feeling shy? When we come to your farm, let someone decide that. You are the part. Ironically, if we give you a quiz and to answer that and say that what you said can hand you up a mark, but you said you should not give you up a mark. Specific Global warm now. It's no more a news.
In a simple language, it is the increase in temperature through human activities.
Increase. I know you can see. That's why I said I know it goes at random. That we know global warming is an experience that we have been, it's a global experience. You see excessive heat over a period of time. And if you look at my explanation there, it's as a result of human effort or activities, which include what now? Burning of refuse, fuel, what do you call it now? Even all our diesel oil, all our even reflecting gases from the greenhouse. Carbon is also not too good for inhalation. If you inhale it too much, it has certain carbon. That is why you see all these long cancer, you want to say something now? Yes, carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas. Monoxide, it goes into your bloodstream, and when it gets to your, it's going to cause obstruction, coagulating of your blood cells. Deposit of carbon, monoxide. There are so many things we have talked. Somebody is going to teach you soil chemistry. I want to read it.
Asthma. Too much of it causes asthma.
She has an idea she wants to throw it to us, and some of us are discouraging. All these things you are talking about. Cover the surface of the plants. It's an idea she's giving to us. So, you see, all these things we are talking about is as a result of excessive human activities that is still not normal. We started by telling you that there are some biodegradable substances that can cause poisons, toxicity in our stream, or the water we are to be using on our farm. Do you believe that or remember that? I said you should avoid a place that is earmarked for depositing refuse. Because that place that is earmarked for depositing refuse, you always have contaminants that under heavy rainfall, their substances will be washed into your stream. And by the time they get into your stream, they become a poison. Because as they blow and your plant absorb it, it becomes sedimentary particles like lead. Lead is not a friend to the blood. Somebody said, but you want to add something? I think, when are we supposed to close? Please. I'm not going to return with you. Yes. And that will be the end of the course. Okay. Just give me some. Let me just explain it. That's the end of that is the last page. Ṣé kàgbà pé kápàdé ayọ̀ bí kátàrí ṣe dé lókè? We are going to ask ourselves questions here. Exam is coming, Now, we have covered and told us about global warming, and we accept it and irregular weather condition that brings heat over the universe. Uneven distribution of rainfall pattern. These are the things we have been talking. We started by saying somebody said he planted early March and he couldn't get his crop because he could not be patient enough to wait for when the rain will be stable, so that we have even pattern of distribution. Overstress means air blown or evaporation. Air blow. How do I explain that? Hot breeze, especially in the dry season, the incoming of harmattan, there are some fruit series crops that are always getting ready around that time, especially sorghum. When they are just bringing out their fruit in the course of after what we call it now, crossbreeding and stigma development and other things. Yeah. So as soon as the breeze is becoming too vigorous and the weather is warm, you will see them be starting the developing seeds. All these things. Then we said excess moderate humidity. I've spoken about that too. When the humidity is too much, some crops will not be active. They will remain where they are until when there is warmth before they grow. Those are the reasons. There are hindrances in our road network. Yes, especially when you have your road too much water on the road path. Our vehicle that will go and load crops from the farm to the market will get stuck on the road. Most of our crops will be stuck even in the lorry, and 2-3 days they start growing moldy, and that will reduce their market value when they get to the market. Do you accept that, or you believe that? That is why you see them in grade. When you get to the market now, some rice or maize will be that colored black, something like that, or be graining. See stones and every other thing, because they have been mixed up in the process of bringing them down. Sorry, my Muslim brothers and friends, who just want to finish up. Then the last, I said pest and disease factor. Yes, when the weather is too cold, most of our storage crops will be growing moldy. Then we now ask you to open up your store, let breeze and sun enter. Even most of the crops, we ask them to bring them to come and sun dry it. You remember you do that too, Abi? So all these things are effect of irregular weather condition. Pests and diseases grow fast in highly humid environment. Highly humid environment. Yes, they multiply. Some will migrate, some will develop. In the dry season, you see nymph and moths will be flying off here and there. I think you understand that. But their effect on our crop is that they hit into the food value of those crops, and before you know it, they cause damages. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is part 2, level 2 of this course, and subsequent courses, lectures will be having will be on the field before. So whatever anybody has that is still not too, you are not too sure, you can ask for, or you have any other thing that you want to give us as an addition. My cup is not too filled. I still want many things, much information, especially for you people that are outside. So on this, we are stopping on a classroom lecture. By next week, we go into practical. Or before we go, after the Christmas holiday, we resume our practical. Everything we have had about, we are going to see their influence practically on the field and how we observe them. Yeah? So, without any much ado, is there any question or? There is still going to be another quiz. For those of us who have not done, we encourage you to be there. We are supposed to have 2 quiz a period, and that will also be, will be graded on us and be able to see how qualified we are, how we are going to be an effective graduate of this course from 3 months time or 6 months time. I don't know the duration. Thank you very much.